Hey everyone, welcome to By Goldenberry. I'm Tina. This tutorial is on how to make your own reusable, sustainable crochet water balloons. This is a great zero waste crochet project that will help you to reduce your environmental impact while still having loads of fun. They'll not only help the planet, but also save you money, water, and time. You'll no longer have to pick out all those tiny bits of plastic from the garden. So grab your hooks and your yarn and let's begin. For this project, we're going to be using a 100% organic cotton yarn. It's from Tacky Yarns, Hatteras, and it has this boucle style to it, which will really help with absorbency of the water. Organic cotton, well, cotton in general is great for absorbency, so that's why we're using this. And to make sure that it's truly sustainable throughout its life and afterwards when they're no longer in use. I'll pop the link in the description below for the yarn and some other alternatives as well. We're going to need a 6mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and a stitch marker. And we're going to be using easy stitches, the single crochet stitch, front loop single crochet, and half double crochet. We're going to begin by chaining 4. So grab your hook, make a slip knot, and chain 4. We want these initial chains to be quite loose. So make sure your first one, the slip knot, is quite loose, and the next 4 are loose as well. The reason for that is because of the boucle style, it's difficult to see where the stitches are initially. The first round is quite awkward to see, but then once you've got that done, it's okay after that. So make sure the first ones are quite loose, and we're just going to slip stitch straight into that first one that we made. I like to go into underneath 2 loops. So just slip stitch into there, and we have a circle. So we can see here, if you look closely, this is our first stitch. Here, our second, our third, and our fourth here. So on round 1, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to make 2 half double crochets into each stitch around. So making sure we go under both loops of each stitch, we'll make a half double crochet, and we're going to mark the first one. So I'm going to grab my stitch marker and just mark this first half double crochet. On every round, we're going to be marking the first stitch of each round. So we want to make another half double crochet into that first stitch. Like I said, it's quite difficult to see this first round. If you're finding it difficult, maybe on the foundation chain, you could mark each stitch just to make sure you get it right. And then after that, it's quite easy to see where they are. So we'll do 2 double crochets into the third stitch, and then another 2 into the last stitch. And then we're going to slip stitch into this marked stitch of round 1. And that's round 1 finished. We should have 8 half double crochet stitches. So if we take this marker out, so you can see them a lot better on this round. So this one is the one we've slip stitched into. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So on round 2, we're just going to repeat what we did on round 1. We're going to do 2 half double crochets into each of the stitches all the way around. So we're going to start with a chain 1, and we're going to miss this one because that's the slip stitch, and move to the next one and do a half double crochet in there, and make sure to mark it because that's where we're going to slip stitch into. And do another half double crochet, and just do 2 in each stitch around and meet me back here when you're done. Round 2 is nearly complete. I just need to slip stitch into the first half double crochet, move the marker, and we should have 16 half double crochets all the way around. So let's count just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Great. For round 3, we're going to be making 2 half double crochets into the first stitch and 1 into the next, and repeat that pattern all the way around. So we'll start again with a chain 1, and we'll make 2 half double crochets into our first stitch. Remember to mark the first half double crochet. So we're making 2 into the first stitch, and then 1 into the next. And then 2 into the next stitch, and 1 into the next. And continue all the way around and meet me back here at the end. I'm just finishing round 3. I'm going to slip stitch into our first half double crochet, remove the marker, and we should have 24 stitches all the way around. It's easier to see where the stitches are now, so it's easy to count. You should have 24. Moving on to round 4, we're going to be making 1 half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. So again, we'll chain 1 and make a half double crochet into our first stitch, which is here. Mark the first stitch again, and carry on all the way around, just making 1 half double crochet into each stitch, and meet me back here when you're finished round 4. This is the end of round 4. I've slip stitched into that marked stitch, and as you can see, it started to curve, and you want to make sure that the right side is facing outwards and the end of the yarn is on the inside. We can use this piece of yarn to then tighten up the bottom if we want to, or just leave it tucked inside like that. So we want to make sure that the right side is facing out. And I love how quickly this is building up already with this bulky weight yarn. They're so quick and easy to make. I really love this project. So for round 5, we're going to repeat the last round. So we have the right side facing us, and we're just going to repeat what we just did. So we're going to chain 1 and then make a half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. Meet me back here when you've completed round 5. I'm at the end of round 5 and I've slip stitched into the first half double crochet. I'm just going to remove the marker, and we should still have 24 stitches all the way around. Just check before we move on. And for round 6, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to make 2 half double crochets into the first stitch and 1 half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So let's begin. So this is our first stitch. We'll do 2 half double crochets into there. Again, make sure to mark the first half double crochet. And then we're going to half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So I have 2 there and 1, 2, 3. And then repeat that pattern all the way around. And meet me back here when you're done. This is the end of round 6. I've slip stitched into the first half double crochet and I'm going to move the marker. We should have 30 half double crochets at the end of this round. So again, just count them up and make sure. So we should have like a little bowl shape. And now we're going to start round 7, and it's going to be a repeat of round 4, which was just 1 half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. So again, chain 1, make your first half double crochet into the first stitch, add a marker, and continue all the way around, and I'll meet you back here at the end of round 7. This is the end of round 7, and we still should have 30 stitches all the way around. And we're going to start decreasing at this point so that the balloon comes in at the top. So we've reached our max width, and round 8 is going to be the first round where we're going to decrease. So we're going to chain 1. We're going to start off by doing a half double crochet 2 together. So yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over again, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. And then yarn over and pull through all loops on the hook. And we're going to mark that one as our first half double crochet of this round. And then we're going to half double crochet into the next 2 stitches, just 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. And we're going to repeat that pattern. So again, we'll do another half double crochet, 2 together. And then 1 into the next 2 stitches. And repeat that all the way around and meet me back here at the end. We've reached the end of round 8 and you'll notice that you only have 2 stitches left. So we're going to make another half double crochet, 2 together here at the end. And then we're going to slip stitch into this first half double crochet like we've been doing. Round 9 is going to be another round of decreasing, so we're going to chain 1 and we're going to do 1 half double crochet into the first stitch. We're going to mark the stitch again. And we're going to do a half double crochet, 2 together to decrease. And then repeat that pattern. So just 1 half double crochet into the first and then a half double crochet, 2 together. And just meet me back here at the end. We're at the end of round 9 and you should have a shape that looks like this. And you should have 15 stitches now all the way around, now that we've decreased. And you can see that the hole is getting smaller and smaller. And round 10 is going to be another round of decreasing. And we're going to start by chaining 1 again. And then we're going to make 1 half double crochet into the first stitch. Mark this first stitch. And make a half double crochet, 2 together. And repeat that pattern. So 1 half double crochet into the next and then a half double crochet, 2 together. All the way around. And meet me back here at the end of round 10. At the end of round 10 you should have 10 stitches and we're going to make another round. Round 11 is going to be the final round for decreasing because we want the hole to close up completely. So we're going to again chain 1 and we're going to half double crochet, 2 together all the way around. So we'll start off with our first one. It'll be 5 half double crochet, 2 togethers. So let's do them together. So that's 1. Let's mark this one. And we'll continue all the way around, making half double crochets so that we can close the hole at the top. It can get a little bit awkward as it gets tighter and tighter, so just keep trying to go around. Okay, we've reached the end of that. So we've got to our first marked stitch, and we'll slip stitch into there like we've been doing this whole time. And at the end of this round, we should have just 5 stitches at the top. We're going to start round 12, which will be 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So again, we're going to chain 1 and make our first single crochet into the first stitch. We'll mark this stitch again. As it gets tighter at the top, it gets more difficult to see where the stitches are again, so just make sure you're marking the first stitch. And another single crochet. We should have 5 altogether. 3, 4, and 5, and then slip stitch again into the marked stitch, and that finishes round 12. And we're going to make another round. You can see that the top is starting to shape into the balloon shape that we want at the top. If you see the finished one here, we've got like a bit where it looks like the tie of the balloon. So round 13 is going to finish that off. And what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 again, and then working into the front loop only, we're going to single crochet around 1 more time. So just picking up the first loop and single crochet, mark it again, and again we need 5, so make sure you're just finding the front loop and single crochet. So that's 2, 3, 4, and the last one here. That's 5, and again slip stitch into the first one that we made. So now we should have a top that kind of resembles the top of a balloon. We do here. And we can cut the yarn, get our scissors, cut the yarn, leave a little end for weaving. And we're going to do an invisible finish. So we're going to pull the loop up through the last stitch and grab our darning needle. And I'm just going to mark this stitch where the end is coming out of, just to make it a little bit easier. And we're going to miss this first stitch here and weave the end under the next stitch, like that. and then go back into the middle of this stitch that we've just marked. So that it creates another stitch on top of that stitch that we missed. So it kind of looks like there's no join and there's no knot, and that's why we call it an invisible finish. So now we can take this end, weave it through our darning needle again, and we're just going to weave it around this section here, just to pinch it in a little bit to make it more like a balloon. So I'm going to come out this end here and just weave it around the bottom of that bit. Just to give it a kind of pinched appearance. And then go through the middle. And if you like, you can make a little knot in here just to keep it secure. There we go, and we can chop the end. And I'm just going to get my hook in there, just to turn it into a little balloon. And that's it. Finished. And they're so quick to make. You'll have a bowl of these in no time at all. So I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and I really wish that you make them this summer. Please let me know in the comments. I love to know if you're making my projects. Let me know how it goes, and I shall see you next time.